So we are here in Mike Getscher's office and about to catch up with him on the 10-year anniversary of towing Battleship Iowa out of Suisun Bay. So talk to us about that.
It was an extraordinary time for us. Just a couple of us spent almost 6 weeks preparing her for tow. And that was just running around the ship, making sure things were ready. We had to meet with all kinds of people, the Coast Guard, the tow company, the insurance people, the inspectors, the Navy. Oh my gosh, just everybody was involved. So a ton of work. But to give you an idea of what the lay of the land was here, we were in Suisun Bay, which is basically the delta coming out of the Sacramento River systems, where there's a ton of silt buildup in the bay itself. And it's an amazing place. When I was there, we would watch as the tidal current would flow. It was up to 6 knots at sometimes. It was just amazing. So what you have, and we'll point it here, this is row G, different rows here along in the storage area, the storage basin, if you will. We are on the outboard side of row G right here. That's actually the Iowa. And we have a couple of bridges to go through. But what you can't see here is the problem with depth of water. And that's where I can show it to you here on this chart. So if you look at it, these are the two bridges, and the ship is up here, and we have depths of water that get down to as little as 32 feet in various locations, 32, 33, 34, 35.
Iowa's draft?
And Iowa's draft before we started anything was 32.9. It was just under 33 feet. So pretty deep ship back aft. And also what you don't see is just how shallow it is in the center. So if you look back at the actual image, this entire center section is completely unnavigable. In fact, there was a beached sailboat about right here that you could see from the Iowa, just sitting in the mud, and most of the hull was visible. So you have this extraordinarily shallow area with only a single path. And one of the points in our video that we talk about is that this is the only navigable channel. That means you can use it for navigation. This is the dredged channel down here. This is not meant for navigation of deep water vessels at all. And the Navy had been concerned for many years about essentially getting the Iowa trapped. How would we actually be able to get her out? And so just a couple things we did. We had to ballast the vessel differently. My boss and I placed 300 tons of water up forward on the ship to bring her bow down and her stern up a little bit. We gained a little over 5 inches of draft aft. So in fact, I'm looking at the wall right there, the bulkhead. We are at 32 feet 3 inches right now, back aft. It's still the same since we left 10 years ago. But that extra 5 inches was critical. Also in the week prior to our tow, we did a bathymetry study, or soundings, if you will, where a boat would go out and, as we call it, mow the lawn, just going back and forth, checking the depth of water every 50 feet. And from that information, we were able to chart this path very carefully on a computer all the way down to the bridge where it became a little bit deeper for us. And then we had to side slip the vessel over to the navigable channel, and then we backed her through the bridge. So this was an extraordinary time. Very tense for all of us. We were concerned about getting the ship trapped. The Navy was desperately concerned about that. And we had this window of opportunity of about 3 days due to the tidal conditions in October of that year. And we could also wait perhaps 1 month to about the same time in November, but those conditions were even less favorable by a few inches. So we were literally concerned about inches, being able to take this 45,000 ton vessel down through the mud and not get her stuck. And if she became stuck, not only would it make national news, it would cost millions of dollars to get her free. So we were under an awful lot of stress at that time.